Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Spotlight. Today's Spotlight guest is Dr. Nuzhat Tam-Zaman, a smart brain, a kind heart, and a very warm personality. You are a pharmaceutical scientist and also an entrepreneur. You started your journey in Bangladesh. You did your bachelor and your master's in pharmacy from Dhaka University. You had first class in both. I think in your master's you were the top. Your first was first, and then you got the one of the most prestigious scholarships, the Commonwealth Scholarship, to come to Canada to pursue your PhD at the University of Alberta. You did that in pharmacokinetics, and then you worked as a postdoctoral fellow in pharmacokinetics and drug metabolism.
Yes.
At the Sinfar laboratories. And now you are a co-founder and a vice president of Cynoveda Canada for last 15 years. This is a remarkable journey. If students who are now undergraduate students or graduate students in Bangladesh, somewhere in any university, specifically maybe in Dhaka University, if they want to pursue a career as successful as yours, what advice would you give them?
So my advice would be that doesn't matter what you do, you always have to have a purpose in life. For me, there are 3 P's that rules my life. One is purpose. You have to have a purpose. Passion. You have to have great passion for your purpose, and perseverance. So without that, you pretty much cannot achieve anything. And for me, yes, I think you summed it up very well. I did my bachelor's, master's, and during my school in pharmacy, I always knew that I wanted to go abroad to do my graduate studies. But I also knew that that is only possible by getting a scholarship, right? I didn't think that my parents would be able to support me. I was not the only child. And so the only way to do it is to get a scholarship. And that's what I did. And when I came here with my scholarship, at that time I was married already, and I had a 15-month-old daughter. And I came here to do my PhD with my child, and my then husband couldn't even accompany me, so I was pretty much a single mother. I was told on my face that I wouldn't be able to make it. I will quit, because it is no joke to come to a country where I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any family, no friends, but I knew that what I wanted to do, and I told myself that I'm not a quitter. I have to work hard. So which I did. I persevered, and I got through. I did finished my graduate studies in 1996, got my PhD degree, and worked for about a year. And then 2006, together with my husband, we founded the company Cynoveda, and we have been working. So just to sum it up, if I can say that I read this quote in a book recently, and it really it resonates with my life so much. And it says, one who loves to sing always finds the song. It's like a different way of saying, where there is a will, there is a way. So
Right.
If you know what you want to do in life, you go after it, and it will not be easy. For me, life was not easy. I went through a lot of hardships, a lot of struggles here as a newcomer, as a new immigrant, as a woman, and then with a child. It was not easy, but I knew what I wanted to do, and just with sheer determination and a purpose and a laser focus is what you need. So I just hope that whoever is going through the journey, just always also believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, believe in what you want to do in life, and things will happen. Just treat them as noise. But if you know where you want to go, you get there. You work hard, you will get there.
You started your career as a director with Kainetana, as a director of pharmacokinetics and drug metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
You worked there for about a good 7-8 years, and then you and Dr. Tam, your husband, co-founded Sanuveda Canada. And since the inception of your company, you have been instrumental in reaching the company's R&D targets. You are instrumental in registering the company's products with Health Canada, with USDA. You are also instrumental in launching the company products for marketing through various e-commerce platforms and other marketing platforms. And now, as a vice president, you are leading the company's business development, sales, and marketing across the globe. And you are also taking care of the company's grants, loans, and funds. You were a research scientist, and then you became an entrepreneur and a successful business leader. If I look back and think about me, I was also a research scientist, I think these two career tracks needs two very different sets of skills. How did you evolve from a research scientist to an entrepreneur and a successful business leader? If you are to mentor or coach a PhD student at the University of Alberta who wants to pursue a career like yours, what advice would you give them?
Yes, you are absolutely right that when you are going through graduate school and in research, you're wearing kind of an academic hat, and for being an entrepreneur, it is really very different. I have to say that I didn't know that I'm going to be an entrepreneur 30 years ago. If you asked me that I'm going to be a business owner and we'll be sitting on different boards and all this, I don't think I would believe it. But yes, it is very different. And I also have to say that when you're doing research, again, you have to have a purpose, right? You're doing some research a lot of times. Even when we were in our graduate school, you always want to innovate something, right? Even during our PhD, all the papers, everything has to be something innovative. So if you have an innovative idea, as an entrepreneur, you want to see that, okay, can this be commercialized? When you think of something to take it to the next stage, that's when you become entrepreneurial. And it is of course not easy. And there are a lot of, even when the Kinetana was started, it was a spin-off company, and you hear about a lot of spin-off companies from U of A. And in like 30 years ago, it wasn't very easy. The professors, when they had an idea, they really had to choose between academia and the entrepreneurship. So you would have to choose one or the other. But the infrastructure was not there yet. But right now, if somebody wants to become an entrepreneur, especially I can talk about the U of A here, the infrastructure is here. You don't really have to leave your job. There are things like API, Applied Pharmaceutical Innovation, DDIC, the Drug Development Innovation Center, and BioAlberta. There's a lot of nonprofit organizations here that are actually helping entrepreneurs, spin-off companies that are coming out from U of A. A lot of companies that are coming out. There is help out there. But when I started becoming an entrepreneur, it wasn't there. So when
you had to create your own path.
We had to create our own path. And I think one piece of advice is that you always have to know that you can be good at everything, and you don't need to be good at everything. Just find out what your niche is, and what you can do best. Try to work with people. Always surround yourself with people that can do some of the things that you need to get done. So we always have to network. We always have to work with people. Like, even though we are here in Edmonton, we are working with CCI, U of A, API, like all these companies here. We always collaborate, always network. So you always have to work with the right people if you want to go into business. But before you go into business, please, the one piece of advice is do your research before you take the plunge. Do your research. What you're doing, is there a need for it? What is the market? And who you can get help from. So do some of those basic research, and there are help, like there are like small grants and loans and stuff like that, those things are there. And the business scene in Alberta is much better than what it used to be 30 years ago. And there are a lot of investors and VCs are coming and actually looking at Alberta as the next innovation hub. So the artificial intelligence scene is very strong here. The biotech industry, both in actually Edmonton and Calgary, is right now is one of the most hot places for innovators. So if you want to do something, you will look for it, you will search. So my husband, he always says that 2 words. For him, it's just 2 words. If you like attention, intention. If you have the intention of doing something, you pay attention, and when you pay attention, solutions comes to you.
So what I'm hearing is that first you have to find your niche, your strength. So I'm thinking that you have to have an entrepreneur inbuilt in you. It is probably not something that you can teach yourself, is it?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think business people are risk takers. You have to take some risks because it is not easy. It is quite unpredictable, especially at least in Alberta 30 years ago. The investment scene was not very good, so we always had to go and raise money, and most of our investors still are from Asia. And so that those are some challenges. Definitely challenges are still there. You have to take those risks. You have to go out of your comfort zone. So people who are doing regular jobs, it's always you know what you have to do. You do your job. At the end of the day, you have a paycheck and you're happy, right? So which is fine. That you want to do something really big, the challenges could be even bigger. And if you are okay with that, go for it.
So if you are a leader, if you are a risk taker, you know that you can step out of your comfort zone and take the challenges. Then the second advice would be, even if you are a graduate student now, we are doing research. Do research in an area that has prospect of getting commercialization. And then the another thing that you said is that having network and collaboration and people connection, and knowing what are the institutions that can give you the support to become an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. We always say in our pharmaceutical world, we always say that it takes a village to put a drug in the market. It is so true. Like we have a team of people. Like right now, we are working with so many business leaders and other entrepreneurs and investors. Like we have to have these support system because we know we can't do it alone.
In your journey, a journey of such a success, have you ever got rejected anywhere? And how did you come across the rejection?
Oh, yes. I think what I can tell you is I don't remember during my grad studies. Probably I was too busy and doing my stuff. But as an entrepreneur, I can say that, yes, absolutely. We have been rejected by investors, venture funds or companies that just didn't understand what we are doing, and especially when your innovation is something so different and something that has never been done before. If it is not something that they are used to seeing, they will reject you. But never ever make that cause any issues in your head that, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong. No, if what you are doing is something great, those rejections, just treat them as noise, and you just pick yourself up, get up, and try again. And if there is something you can learn from it, fine. But if it is a rejection for the other party just not being able to understand, that's different. But if you get some constructive feedback, take that. Don't feel bad about the rejection, but take the constructive criticism and improve on it and move on.
So you are a leader in life science research and also marketing. You are currently the chair of Deep Tech Canada, that was previously known as Nano Canada, this year. And you're also the co-chair and board member of BioAlberta since 2018. And you were the first women co-chair for BioAlberta.
That's correct.
And also you are a science advisory committee member for Hyacinth Biologicals. So how do you define your journey as a woman, as a first generation immigrant, and as a member of the visible minority communities in Canada?
Well, yes, absolutely. Here, coming here as a grad student, as a woman, and then, almost like a, single mother, the journey was not easy, as I just mentioned to you. People saw how I carry myself, or, what I can bring to the table. And that's how it came about. Becoming a board member of BioAlberta. At that time, I was also one of the very few women there, and within a year, I became the co-chair for almost 6 years now. The co-chair of BioAlberta, and Deep Tech Canada Steering Committee co-chair. So these are important positions, and that has like a lot of responsibilities, besides my own, business, that I have to spend a lot of time. And when I take when I take a responsibility, I always tell myself that I have to do a good job. So I take the time, whenever, with all these associations that I'm with, whenever there is a meeting or anything, like, I take the time to read. I take the time to prepare myself for these meetings. So I take all these jobs very seriously, and so if you are good at what you do, I don't think being a woman, or being a minority, or being having a brown skin, none of these things should matter for me. Even now, professionally, I think probably I can say that I'm just too strong for that. I don't think that anybody will come and say something and get away with it.
Actually, that's the society we're living here, because it's Canada, it's multicultural,
Yeah,
it's egalitarian society. So,
exactly. Yeah.
So do you think it is partly the society and partly your courage and your strength, or?
Yes.
I mean, there has to be something in you, because there are so many of us. Not all can achieve all these that you have achieved. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. So.
Yeah, I think you have to be a little bit courageous. Yes, as I said, like, you can't be intimidated just because you are an immigrant, or just because you are brown, or all those, like, those things shouldn't matter. Like, you have to rise up. You have to rise up, and absolutely, we are lucky that we are in Canada, right? We have those freedom, we have those rights. So no, I have never experienced any untoward comments or anything towards me. And but if anybody is feeling that they are not good enough, or they may not get there just because they're a woman, or they're just because they are a minority and all those things, sometimes I just feel like those could be just excuses. Okay, so you have to just think that, no, doesn't matter what, if I want something, I'll get it done.
So you have to have, if you want something, you need to have that confidence, that courage, that bravery
Yeah.
to claim it.
Yeah.
Where do you get your strength, your courage, your confidence?
Maybe when you are the fourth child out of six, and you know that you are just one of too many, and when kids get too much attention when they're young, their urge probably is not as high. I don't know, like, for me, I was just always a go-getter, always a go-getter, and I just wanted things done. Like, even as a young child, I remember my sister, immediate younger sister, my parents always had to tell her to go do her homework. But for me, I don't think they ever had to coach me, or ever had to tell me to go do my homework. Like, I was always doing what I wanted to do, and I know what I had to do. So it was just that, growing up, and then having a sibling who was just a year younger, and of course the parents' attention was to the younger one. So I think when
You're the middle child.
you are the middle child, so you always know that the first child always gets a lot of attention, and the youngest one gets the attention. The middle one, you just grow up by yourselves. So maybe growing up with a lot of siblings, and having a sibling that was just a year younger, I was always very independent, very independent. So probably, maybe that's where that strength and that determination came from.
Yeah, I think you are not saying it, but what I'm hearing is that you are a very hardworking person. You had a very strong work ethics. You always did your work. You studied hard, and you had this discipline, and you are confident. You are brave, and of course, you are very smart. You are intelligent. You work hard. So,
And
what else? There is an X factor that I'm trying to find out.
X factor.
I look up to you, so I'm just trying to learn what is it that maybe I can try.
I think I try to stay grounded as well. Like, nothing bothers me. Like, if I have a bad day versus a very good day, I just try to stay in the middle. I don't try to get too excited for something good, nor do I get too depressed if there is something very wrong. So if you can maintain your mental balance, like in somewhere in the middle, nothing bothers you as much, because in your life, you go through lots of ups and downs, and there are moments that I've gone through, like, literally. I could just tell you that anybody in my position would have crushed. But here I am, and still marching.
Perseverance.
And yeah, so just stay in the middle. Don't feel too bad, nor do you get too excited. So stay grounded, stay in the middle way, and be a good listener. Okay, because always having an opinion right or wrong or talking over others is not a good attribute. If you want to be successful, if you want to be just a, even just a good person in a company, you have to listen. Just sit there and listen to people. Then they can actually they will confide in you more. They will grow a trust, and they will feel comfortable, because sometimes you don't need to give an opinion. Don't have to. Even if you have one, even if that person is saying something that you don't believe, or you don't think is right, just it's okay. It's okay for your opinion to stay within yourself. Just to be able to sit there and listen is a very, very good attribute. And it is not easy to practice, but if you can, this is going to help you to build better relationships, and also to succeed in life. Because when you listen, you can observe more, you can hear what other people are thinking, and from there you you can form your final opinion. And that is much stronger than just to be able to blurt things out when you haven't actually hear from others what they have to say. So be a good listener.
And your personality, your communication skill, your discipline. Every time I try to reach out to you, I can always reach out, and you always respond promptly. I think these are small things, but these are very, very important for
Yeah.
someone to be successful, or for somebody who is successful.
Absolutely. When somebody reaches out to me, yes, absolutely. If it is not within the next minute or so, at least within the hour, that you will hear from me a reply. And I remind myself, like, I don't trust my memory these days, so I will just write down what I need to do, who I need to call, who I need to reach out. I will have it in my calendar, and that's how I do it. I never would miss a beat
You don't
in doing.
procrastinate.
You're absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's very
That
important.
is a big no-no for me. And I expect the same. When I write to somebody, I expect a reply. And in business, this is professionalism.
There are many strengths that these are ingrained in you, so you probably didn't have to teach all these things to yourself, but these are built in your personality, that is helping you in many ways.
Yes, I think probably I can. I was just thinking of my mom. My mom was also like that. She would she would love to talk to people. She always had friends. She would never like sit alone. Like, she always tried to make friends, and she made friends very easily. Even people she didn't know, like, she would make friends very easily, and people just loved her. Of course, my mom was way more talented than I am, and that's how she was. She was very professional, like, very talented. She knew to do so many things, and with six of us, education was very important for my parents. We were six girls. We didn't have any brothers. People used to ask us that, hey, did your parents wanted boys? And we always say maybe they wanted, but they didn't get one. They tried, but we were six sisters, and education was very important. So we always went to very good schools and universities. So all my sisters, they are university graduates, and they're some of them are doing very well professionally. So both my mom and dad, their work ethic and the professionalism that was there, and the teachings that they had and instilled in us is something that I have to say that probably shaped me to who I am today.
Absolutely. So
Right?
you said that you used to worry about past and future, but now you live in the present moment.
Live in the present.
How did you reach to that practice? Like, did you do any, like, a meditation?
Yeah, I
or
do
anything?
meditation every day.
Oh, how long?
10 minutes
In the morning?
in
or
the morning.
Okay.
Just meditation, meaning like you sit, just doing nothing, just deep breathing, just deep breathing for 10 minutes, nothing, no thoughts. If thoughts will come, you let the thoughts go. So just 10 minutes deep breathing, and it is so good for your brain, because otherwise it's just you feel the clutter, and it's not good to start your day with a clutter. So I work out, I meditate. So those are my rituals that, doesn't matter what, that's my for my personal well-being, that I must do
Every day.
every day.
Every morning.
It just settles your brain, like, and deep breathing is just,
Yeah.
you inhale and exhale, and it's good for your brain, it's good for your heart, it's good for your lung. So just deep breathing. I mean, it's not like in 10 minutes you can reach nirvana,
Yeah.
but just that 10 minutes for yourself. You have to love yourself, you have to take care of yourself, you need to be comfortable in your skin, you need to be comfortable with yourself. When you are comfortable with yourself, when you love yourself, trust me, others will as well.
So I think your journey from a research scientist to a business leader was not like a gradual move. I think there was always a leader in you, because I understand when you were a graduate student, you became the first female president of Bangladesh Canada Association of Edmonton. And within 40 years, it's 41 years of span, you were the only female president, not just
really?
first female president. And you achieved it. So there was always a leader in you, and people were able to see it. How do you define that? Like, is it something you were born with, or you achieved it, you earned it?
I don't know. I think I was always I don't know if I a leader or not. But I was always um, like had that attitude that I'm good. I'm good at what I do. I had that confidence. I think when people they see me, they see that confidence in me, and so that's probably one thing. I led different organizations, and I didn't know that I was the yes, I was the president for some time, but
You
I
were
didn't
the
know
first,
that. And
you were
after
the only female for 40
and
years.
after all these years, and they couldn't find another woman. That's kind of surprising. And now I don't know if I can mention that I'm the co-chair of this JWG group, the joint working group between Canada and Bangladesh that was formed a couple of years ago, and I'm the co-chair from the Canadian side, and the president of FBCCI, he's the co-chair from the Bangladesh side. So we jointly formed this. Just the goal was to increase the bilateral trade between the two countries. So that's a big responsibility on my part, to bring these two countries together and talk about the gaps and how we can collaborate and increase the trade, because Bangladesh economy is rising, and the outgoing High Commissioner felt the need that Canada is lagging behind and not doing much. So that was the goal, and then we found out the different areas that Canada could benefit Bangladesh, and vice versa. So there were, things we discussed about streamlining the student visa, so that Bangladeshi student can come and study, easily, and then increasing trade in pharmaceutical industry, IT, education, and converting solid waste into biofuel. So that this is a major area in Bangladesh. It's a big problem in Bangladesh, and there are so many companies right here in Edmonton that in the bioindustrial field that turns solid waste into biogas and biofuel. So that is something that we are trying to take to Bangladesh. So I was told I was meeting with some ministers here, and then they have heard about the JWG. They congratulated me for the efforts that we put in, and we came up with a report that was submitted. And I was told that Prime Minister Trudeau knows about this, and he told the ministers to put more emphasis on Bangladesh, and they were thinking of taking a trade mission to Bangladesh, but because of the election, they are postponing it till Q1 next year. So hopefully by March, April, we are thinking that there will be the first trade mission from Canada to Bangladesh, and that's when I will think that all these efforts that we have put in the last 2 years during this JWG will come true. So I hope that it can happen.
Yeah, actually, this question was one very near to my heart and dear to me as well. I was going to ask, being an insider, I mean, I understand that you are trying to build collaboration or build a bridge between Bangladesh and Canada to encourage business and bilateral trades and communications. But being an insider, what advice would you give to those, for example, people living on both sides, if they are trying to do business at a private sector level? What advice would you give them, like how they should pursue, and what are the things that you as an insider know but they probably don't know, or is there any area that is relatively less explored but you see there is potential, there is opportunity there?
Okay, so the first thing I would advise them to do is to talk to the trade commissioners. So there are we have trade commissioners from Bangladesh, I mean from Canada in Bangladesh, and I just spoke to them actually recently. I know the High Commissioner very well, and the trade commissioner, senior trade commissioner, so they are there to help. Okay, so if you need to get some market research done in certain areas, okay, I want to do business in this area, in IT or pharmaceutical or industrial, bioindustrial. So what are the opportunities there? So they can actually help you not only with the market research but also to connect you with some right partners. Okay, so and you have to make a trip. For anybody who's Bangladeshi, of course they are going there already, but Canadians, they must make a trip to go and explore, and there are lots of opportunities for Canadians to go and do business there. And Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, actually, she said that if Canadians, they want to go and establish their businesses in Canada, there are a lot of incentives like tax, waiving the tax and waiving and giving them like free land in Bangladesh, that she's offering all those. So there are a lot of opportunities, but I think the window is narrowing, because as the country moves further along and other countries are going there to fill in the gaps. So I have to say the competition is going to be fierce very soon. So I think the moment in Bangladesh. So for Canadians, the moment is now. The time is now. So they have to do something. So this is what we are trying to tell the government, that hey, don't miss the boat. You gotta go there. So, but the first step, if you don't know about anything, talk to the trade commissioners, Canadian trade commissioners in Bangladesh.
Bangladesh it's a densely populated country, and it's a big market in that respect. So foreign investors, if they go invest there, you can think that it's going to be a good investment because it's a big market. What about Bangladeshis planning to come to Canada? Where do you think they have opportunities?
Bangladesh is coming to Canada. The biggest business that they are doing is exporting garments, right? The garments and leather goods. These are the two things that I heard that Bangladesh is exporting. But I think the one area would be to send their students to come and get trained, so that when they go back, they get, highly qualified personnel. The skill set that Bangladesh is lacking, you wouldn't believe. Like during our JWG meetings, we were told that Bangladeshi companies, they hire students from India, they hire students from Nepal to fill in some of their jobs. They can't find HQPs in Bangladesh when we have such a huge population and
Yeah.
a young population, and with so many universities and so many schools now. You would think that they are graduating more qualified people, but they are still hiring from India and Nepal. Why is that happening? So to get these students to come and get trained in Canada would be very good, so that they learn the skill set, and then they go back and can contribute. So that's one area. And the other area is in the pharmaceutical area, that Canada, right now, all the API, like active pharmaceutical ingredients, we always buy it from India, India or Europe and US. But Bangladesh can supply that. Bangladesh,
Yeah.
the pharmaceutical industry is doing very well, and they are very highly, advanced right now. So I think Canada can get some of these business from Bangladesh, and Bangladesh can contribute, other than just these, leather goods and garments. And the other is IT is one area, and then now, with the artificial intelligence, I think
Yeah.
Canada is very strong. Canada can contribute, and Bangladesh can benefit from the Canadian skills. So there's a lot to be done and should be done.
And IT jobs, some of the IT jobs that are being outsourced,
Mhm.
these are usually going to maybe India or other countries.
Mhm.
How often do they go to Bangladesh?
Not at all. Not
That
at-
is
yeah.
that is an
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, like when we are talking to people in the IT, web developers, and even now, like yesterday, I got an email asking that they can do these little animation videos and social media marketing and everything. Either they're from India or they're from Pakistan, and I am like, okay, these are things that Bangladeshis can do too. But either they are not advertising themselves well enough, they are not marketing themselves well enough, or the Canadians just don't know about him. So I think Bangladeshis should advertise what they can do
Should reach
much
out to-
more. Yeah,
to Canadian
that is a
people.
gap. That is a
Yeah.
gap. The Canadians must know what Bangladeshis can do.
Right. So for other than big businesses like garments, leather, and all those, small business entrepreneurship entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
what are the opportunities for? Like, what type of small business opportunities do you think Bangladeshis
if
can have in Canada?
Bangladeshis can have in Canada? I think one area I really, it's my dream, is to have Bangladeshi, real Bangladeshi cuisine in Canada. Like, oh my God, like you go to a Bangladeshi restaurant in I was in Paris. I went out for dinner with my daughter, and I went. We were just so hungry in Paris. Imagine, and the first restaurant we got near our hotel. So we went, and it's called Bombay Kitchen. And I said, oh my God, we have to eat Indian food in Paris. So we went, and it's 11, late at night. So we started eating, and then I hear all the Bangla, they're talking in Bangla. I told my daughter, I said, Nashwa, this must be a Bangladeshi restaurant, but just for getting the business, they have to call themselves the Bombay Kitchen. So I asked him, he said, yeah, that's exactly it. If I call it Bangladeshi, then nobody will come. When I call it Bombay Kitchen, I get business. So why is that? Like, we have so many good foods and so many good cuisine.
Exactly.
We should brand it as Bangladeshi food and Bangladeshi cuisine. We don't have a good Bangladeshi restaurant here, right? So we have to get a Bangladeshi cuisine here and brand it something like that is true to Bangladesh. Okay, that's true to Bangladesh, and that's how we should brand our cuisine in Canada, so that we are known for our cuisine, not just Indian food. So that is one wish. And other than that, you go to handicrafts here, sale here, and you see so many Indian stuff. Why not our jamdanis? Why not our nokshi kathar? Why not our goods that are, you when you go to Arong, like all these goods, those things can come and can come to
They will make a
Canada.
very good appeal to
Yeah,
Western
absolutely.
people.
So I think there's a lot of scope, and people are getting used to like this ethnic stuff and handmade, and people
Yeah.
like it. Like if it is eco-friendly, socially made, environmentally friendly, this kind of things, they are very people are, especially the Gen Z, and they just like always simple things. So I think Bangladeshi, this type of small businesses can definitely make a mark. And and fashion, how many stores we have with Indian saris and lehengas, and why not Bangladeshi saris, why
I think
not
Bangladeshis
Bangladeshi
are
clothes?
slightly behind. I think there are many home-based Bangladeshi boutique, but not like in mainstream marketplaces.
Yeah, if you know somebody that wants to come here, and explore and do something, then let us know. Maybe through this JWG we can get them connected. And next year we are planning to do like a big trade show here in Canada, to bring Bangladeshis into Canada to explore and do business, and vice versa.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds very promising. We talked about all the success you have had, but your life is not just a story of success. You had your fair share of turf to walk through. You had your ebbs and flows, your struggles. Um, Particularly when you were a graduate student, you came to this country, you had um, struggles in your personal life, your family life. And I'm saying this because the challenge that you had, it's not very uncommon. Increasingly more people are going through these kind of struggles, and maybe many are just feeling lost, frustrated, and they give up. But you survived. Not only you survived, you forged ahead. You took your life to the next level. Those who are having the same kind of challenge and struggle in their life right now, what advice would you give them?
So the struggle was that as I mentioned, that I was married already when I came here with a 15-month-old daughter, and then my then husband, he was supposed to join me, and he couldn't, and then we were just pretty much living apart. He was in States, and I was here. So eventually we grew apart. We went through a divorce, and during that time, there was absolutely not much help from anybody. And I have to say that I kind of found out the true colors of certain people as well. But I knew what I wanted. I knew what was good for me. So you have to know, doesn't matter what situation you are facing, you have to know what is good for you. So if you are in a relationship that is not healthy for you, that is not going to be positive in many respects. For me, it wasn't good for me and my daughter. So I knew what I had to do. So I went through that whole process pretty much single-handedly, because I knew that if I stayed long enough, I probably will go through a black hole, and that was not something that I wanted for myself and my daughter. So there was, I didn't have friends or family here, and if anything, there were criticisms more than
Social
help.
taboo,
Yeah, so
non-family
yeah,
support.
so you have to know, and if you are going through, if anybody is going through similar situations, then please ask for help, and don't fall into a trap where you think that, okay, you have to live with somebody, or a life that is not good for you. Seek help, and if you can get out of it, get out before it is too late. Because if something is not healthy for, personal, spiritual, professional, then I don't think it's worth your life to stay in a relationship that is not good for you. So divorce is not something that is taboo anymore. 50% of couples go through a divorce in North America, or even in Bangladesh. It's not uncommon. So too bad that some of us have to go through that. But life is too short to stay in a relationship that doesn't work. So if you have a chance, get out.
So one thing was to have a relationship that is not healthy for you.
Mm-hmm.
That one kind of struggle. But then the decision to come out of it is another. It's a very strong decision. You have to take.
Mm-hmm.
That is another struggle. And then once you decide that you do not want to live in this relationship, you come out of it, and then being divorced is another, and learning to live with it,
Mm-hmm.
and making yourself comfortable with this fact, that is another phase of struggle. How do you overcome all this? How was your experience, and how did you overcome?
Well, I mean, as I said, I didn't have any family. I didn't have any friends, and I mean, I didn't have my dad. My mom was there, and I have my sisters. They didn't even know, like, what was actually going on. Not to the extent that it was leading to the divorce. When they found out, of course they tried to make me stay, but it was difficult. It was difficult because we grew apart, and it was not good for me and my daughter to be in a relationship that was very negative. I was like, if I wanted to go one step, like I was going 20 steps backwards with my ex. So I just had to do what was good for me and my daughter, and so I had to take the plunge.
So you have touched on a number of issues: your personal life, your professional life, and your journey and encouraging business between Bangladesh and Canada, trade. So we have touched a lot of things. How would you summarize your conversation in a 1-minute reel?
So be truthful to yourself, and love yourself, take care of yourself, and stay around positive people, and have a purpose in life, and follow your passion, and work hard. And if you know what you want to do, you will find a way to do it. Again, I want to finish my conversation by saying, again, going back to that line, one who loves to sing always finds the song.
That's a very lovely way to end this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.